Welcome everybody. Good evening, good week. We are learning laws of Shabbos candles, lighting Shabbos candles. And today is the Tes Iyar, 9th of Iyar. Yesterday we counted 24 of the Omer. So you count next one up. So we'll discuss today the time of lighting the candles. Zman hadlokas neos. What is the right time to do it? So it says, Halacha tells us that the time to light the candles is Samuch leknisas Shabbos, which means it's right before Shabbos. Because when you do it right before Shabbos, it's noticeable that you're doing it in honor of Shabbos. You're not just lighting candles for any other purposes. But nevertheless, the woman should try to light the candles at least 18 minutes before sunset. So you can check what time sunset is, and you should light the candles 18 minutes prior to sunset. And by lighting the candles, the wife who lights the candles accepts Shabbos. From that point on, for her it's Shabbos already. So therefore, she should daven mincha before she light the candles. She should eat and drink before she light the candles. But the other people in the house, if they're not accepting Shabbos by her lighting the candles, so why she needs to eat before, drink before, and daven mincha before? Because the moment that she light the candles for her Shabbos, she can't daven mincha. Mincha is for weekday, not for Shabbos. It's a mincha of weekday that we daven Friday afternoon. It's a very important mincha. It's the last prayer for the week. That closes the week. The davening of the whole past week. But nevertheless, if she lit the candles already, she accepted Shabbos. How can she daven mincha? For her, it's a Shabbos. Yeah. So therefore, she should always daven mincha before lighting the candles. She should eat and drink before, otherwise she has to wait for Kiddush. If she's hungry, she should try to eat before. Not a lot, so she has appetite. That's another issue, to have appetite for the Shabbos meal. But if she's hungry, she should eat something before, or thirsty. So this way, she doesn't suffer. She light the candles after she ate and drank. Now she's comfortable. She's waiting for half an hour until her husband comes back from shul to make kiddush, and then it's not a long wait. But if the man lights the candles, he's the one to light the candles in the house. If it's a man, and he does right before Shabbos, he can make a stipulation that he doesn't accept Shabbos by lighting the candles. And he can still do Halacha, he can still do work, as long as he did not accept Tosefes Shabbos, meaning to accept Shabbos earlier than it's right, the right time. When the time comes, Shabbos falls on everyone, whether you accept it or you don't accept it, it's Shabbos. The thing is, what happens if you're trying to accept Shabbos prior to the time? So when a woman lights the candles, immediately she accepts Shabbos. When a man lights the candles, he needs to have in mind to accept Shabbos. If he didn't have in mind to accept Shabbos by lighting the candles, he can still do Malacha, he can still do work after lighting the candles. Nevertheless, it says in Halacha that it's better to have the stipulation that I'm not accepting Shabbos by lighting these candles. And then he is allowed to do work, according to everyone, he's allowed to do work until the time comes.
In Century Village, they used to have a davening before the time to say a bracha. So they had to light it without a bracha. The guys that were widowers, single men. So
no, but over here it says if they're allowed to do malacha after lighting the candles, because they're not accepting Shabbos by lighting the candles.
They're staying
so therefore, they could have lit the candles, daven mincha, and only then accept Shabbos.
So they said, when did they say the bracha on
They could have said the bracha whenever they lit the candles.
Okay, but the problem was there's a certain time that you can light the candles with the bracha. Like you can't put the.
That's another subject.
Right,
So he says no, not that it's not negia. It's just that he's discussing. He said the time to light the candles is before Shkia.
True.
80 minutes before Shkia. If you want to light the candles an hour before Shkia, you're right. There's a certain time where you can't just say I'm lighting it for Shabbos and it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
But if it's a normal time,
right.
we're lighting the candles a normal time, like say
Right.
20 minutes, half an hour before
Right.
Shabbos. If it's a woman, she accepts Shabbos immediately. Then she can't eat until Kiddush, and she can't daven mincha already because it's Shabbos.
Right.
If it's a man, the best thing is to make a stipulation that I'm not accepting Shabbos by lighting the candles.
Right.
And then he can daven mincha, and he can drive to shul.
Right.
But when the time comes, whether you accept it or not. So,
true.
But if he light the candles before Knisa Shabbos, before Shabbos commences, he has to accept upon himself Shabbos within 10 minutes of lighting the candles. So it would be recognizable that the lighting was done for Shabbos. So again, he says, if he decides to start earlier, wait, let's say an hour before Shabbos, okay? He has to accept upon himself Shabbos within 10 minutes of lighting. Why? Because we want it to be nikah, noticeable that he's lighting for Shabbos and not for something else. So we learned like this. Number one, the lighting of Shabbos candles is before the Shabbos, so this way it's noticeable that you're lighting the candles in honor of Shabbos, right? Yeah. Nevertheless, it says a woman needs to light at least 18 minutes before sunset. That's the time to light.
Right.
Now, at the moment that she lights the candles, she accepts Shabbos.
Yeah.
For her, it's Shabbos. Now, therefore, it's better for her to eat and drink so she doesn't get stuck hungry for a long time.
Yeah.
Eat and drink before lighting the candles and daven mincha before, because the moment she lit the candles, it's Shabbos, right?
Yeah.
That's the second point.
Yeah.
Third point, he says that if a man lights the candles right before Shabbos, he is not accepting Shabbos immediately, and therefore he can do melacha as long as he did not accept the Shefes Shabbos and adding to Shabbos. He did not accept extra time before Shabbos, right?
Yeah.
Shabbos commences at 8, and he lit the candle at 7:45. He can still do melacha until 8 because he did not accept Shabbos then.
Right.
It's called Tosefes Shabbos, adding time to Shabbos.
Right.
If he would have accepted Shabbos at 7:30, that means he added half an hour to Shabbos.
But then he can't do another malach.
Right. So it says, nevertheless, the best thing is to make a stipulation in the beginning. Make at night, saying, I'm lighting the candles, but I'm not accepting Shabbos. Even though he did make a stipulation, he didn't accept Shabbos. But it says best to do to make a stipulation. Now, the last thing he said, meaning he starts to light way before Shabbos.
Right, that's
then he has to accept upon himself Shabbos within 10 minutes of lighting.
So that becomes a big problem.
Why? Because it should be noticeable in his lighting that it's being done for the sake of Shabbos.
I had two quick things. So, okay, since I'm in the house with my wife, davening mincha Marav in the house, so she lights the candles and she says, I forgot to turn off the oven. So she says, could you turn the oven off for me?
Yeah, because he didn't accept Shabbos.
No, I know, I understand this. I know it's okay, so it's okay for her to say, I forgot to turn off the oven, and I go turn off the oven. For her to say that to me, I mean, that's...
Saying she should tell it to you.
She should say before she should take care of it before.
She should hint it. The same.
I mean, it's not the same like me being a goy. I'm just
But it's the same idea that for you it's permissible.
right.
The idea is when it comes to tell a goy to do something for you, halacha is that he has to benefit from it also.
Right.
Meaning, if you tell the goy it's hot in the room and he turn on the AC,
Right.
he has to be there a little bit to benefit from the AC.
Right,
So
right.
so it should be like he's doing it also for himself.
Right now, okay. What was the other thing? Okay, all right. Now the other thing is we already discussed it.
Okay, let's do Tanya. We'll do Tanya shortly.
You have to